Well, I've been tagged in another Flat Earth video. I'm gonna try to be nice this time.
A rocket is an example of conservation of momentum, which looks like this if drawn out. A skateboarder holding a bowling ball throws the bowling ball, the skateboarder goes backwards. So if you were to ask any globe earther how a rocket flies through a vacuum, this is what they're going to tell you.
Yes, so if you are on a skateboard and you are wearing a cowboy hat and you throw a bowling ball forward, why do you move backwards? Because the bowling ball pushes back on you. That's the equal and opposite reaction. It is not because anything is pushing on the ground. That doesn't happen.
That's because rockets produce thrust by ejecting mass rearward in accordance with Newton's third law. In other words, expelling mass out the back end of this rocket generates thrust.
I didn't feel like drawing a rocket, but a balloon does the same thing. So the air in the balloon, or the combusting fuel in a rocket, pushes against the balloon. That's what makes it go forward. That is the equal and opposite reaction. It's important for what happens next.
So where are they keeping the mass on this so-called rocket to generate thrust? Because space is a vacuum, there would be no air to push off of.
And there's our misunderstanding. Again, why do you move backwards on the skateboard? Not because you push against the ground, because the bowling ball pushes back against you. The balloon does not go forward because the air is pushing against the air. Or a garden hose. Why does it flail around if you don't hold on to it? Not because the water's pushing against the air. That doesn't make any sense. The air doesn't have enough substance for that to be possible. It's because the water pushes against the hose. Propellers in water or air do that. They sort of claw through the water or the air, but that's not at all what's going on here.
A helicopter will not fly if there was no air. Because of this fact, the only way a rocket can move through space is by ejecting mass.
I really don't get how you don't get this, because you showed a clear example of Newton's third law that doesn't require the air to be the thing making you move.
So for 26 days, this thing here will have to keep ejecting mass to maintain its orbit. Again, where is this mass being stored?
Well, you appealed to Newton's third law, but then didn't understand how it works with a rocket. But, there's also Newton's first law. An object in motion, that's right, will stay in motion unless acted upon by external forces. When you throw a ball, it continues moving until it hits the ground, even though there's no fuel powering the tennis ball, because its motion is conserved. Rockets in space don't need to continuously produce thrust in order to move, because their motion is conserved because an object in motion stays in motion. I'm just really confused. I know that you know Newton's first law, and I know that you don't think space exists, but I know that the claim is that space is empty, so there would be nothing to stop the object once it's in motion, because an object in motion, that's right, stays in motion. So, in summary, the main problems here are you've kind of understood Newton's third law, but you didn't apply it to a rocket in an accurate way at all. You completely ignored how Newton's first law means that an object in motion doesn't need to continuously burn fuel in order to keep going in whatever direction it's going. And you think that rockets push against air to move, and that's 100% wrong.